Hello and welcome to another one of my film reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about The King of Thieves. And what did I think of this? Well, first of all, one of the big things I noticed, I was probably the youngest person in the cinema. Everyone else there had grey hair. I was like, what is going on? Is this like an old person's film? Okay, granted, most of the actors in the film are on the older side now, and they are getting on a bit in their years, and it's full of like British actors, really well-known names and faces that you're going to recognise from the UK. And they all did a really good job at their part. It was really well acted, and their roles in the parts were really believable. But they weren't likeable. And the thing is, right, this film is based on true events. It was in the news when it happened. It was all over the news media, and it was the biggest robbery in a long time. They drilled in, and it was quite an audacious, daring attack, and they got all the jewelry and stuff, and most of it still hasn't been recovered yet. And so it was a reenactment of real life events, so people did really lose stuff in real life. It wasn't like one of these like Ocean's film where you have a bunch of criminals and they go out to do some really daring heist and you get to know them and then you get almost sort of like them, and there's a lot of films like that where you get to like the bad guys. This film isn't like that, and I think they had to be quite careful of that because it is based on real people, and these people aren't very nice in real life, so they didn't want to like get the audience sympathetic to them because that wouldn't have been a really good message. So in order to not like almost like play a tribute to these thieves is to portray them as not very nice people. And the problem with that is if I'm watching a film about a bunch of people who aren't very nice, I'm not going to like the characters or the people they're playing, and therefore if I don't like them, then that kind of reflects on the film. So it's kind of like it was always going to be that way because they either made the characters or people in the films nice, and then you think, oh, they're likable, I like those people. But then you think, well, actually no, these are real people who have done real crimes and they're not nice people, so I don't want to like them. So the way they've done it was right, making people that you don't like. But then of course the problem is you're then watching, like, for however long the film is, a bunch of people that you're not really into. And when I watch a film, I actually want to like the people in the film because that gets me invested in them and it gets me invested in the film. And although it was well done and well put together and it was really good acting, the whole time it's just like you're just constantly reminded that these aren't nice people, and therefore I couldn't get into the film as much as possibly I wanted to, and it wasn't as enjoyable as it could have been. Although I did actually have a chat to this old couple on their way out, and they're going, oh, that was really nice, did you enjoy that? And I was like, yeah, it was all right. But I was thinking, I've seen films that I've enjoyed more purely because I liked the people in the films more. That's not to say it isn't well done. I mean, it is well put together. It is cleverly done, and the way they're telling the story is done, and the acting is well done, and the directing is well done, and blah blah blah. All the usual stuff. It's all very well done. It's not a bad film. It is put together well. It is put together very well. But then I keep coming back to this problem that I didn't like the people in it. And therefore, if I didn't like them, then I've got the problem that the film just, it wasn't one of those films that I'd want to watch again, and it's not something that I'd consider buying for someone for like Christmas. I mean, that's only a few months away. It's like I normally like get my dad a film or something because I never know what to buy him. I wouldn't buy this because it's very much I feel it's a watch once film, and it's not the sort of thing you might want to watch again. So even though it was well put together, there's a couple of humorous moments in it, not many. I mean, it wasn't really a comedy, but I say there were a couple of moments which were quite humorous, where like one of the guys was falling asleep and supposed to be on watch, and they're talking about their ailments because they're all getting on a bit and stuff. But other than that, apart from a few kind of light-hearted moments, it was just a very bomb film. I'm not saying it was a bad film, but I don't really see that there was a need for this film. I mean, at the time it was in the news, and I saw programs about it and how they got down there and they drilled the holes and crawled through and everything. I remember watching the news reporters at the time squeezing through the hole and everything. But at the same time, I don't necessarily know if this film needed to be made. I guess when they made it, they just thought, well, this is such an old-fashioned style of robbery to actually go into the bank vault or whatever vault it was, and they thought, yeah, let's make a film about it because this sort of thing just doesn't happen anymore. And I don't know if a film needed to be made, to be honest. I mean, the people in the cinema, they enjoyed it. They said they liked it, so I guess it has an audience. Some people will like it, and as I said, there's nothing technically bad about it. I just didn't feel as if it needed making. I just didn't. I mean, a documentary about how the attack happened might have been better, because I quite like documentary style programs, rather than trying to make an entertaining film and make a bit of money out of it. I don't know if the money's going to the studio or whether the money's going to the victims of the robbery. I think they should get some. I don't know whether it's going to them or not. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to really put my finger on it because it was well put together, it was well done, it was well acted, but I just found myself not enjoying it as much as other films, purely because it's almost like it was acted too well, because they were acted as people that weren't very nice, and then I ended up not liking them. It kind of it was transferring to not liking the film as much as I could have done. So anyway, it's kind of a contradiction, really, because I suppose the film's a contradiction because they're trying to make something entertaining out of something that really bad happened. A lot of people lost a lot of money. They're real victims to this crime. So I don't know how they feel about a movie studio trying to make something entertaining out of it. And it's kind of like a contradiction. I just felt that's how I felt of the film. Anyway, yeah, I've got very mixed feelings about it. I'm not clear on my feelings about it at all. So anyway, that's how I thought. I've got loads of other film reviews on this channel, loads of other stuff. Also check out, I'll be posting videos in the future other than film reviews about me doing the 3 Peaks Challenge for charity. So check them out. I've got a link in the description below to the charity page, so any donations would be brilliant. I'm going to keep going on about this all the way up until about May next year on every video I do, so don't forget to check it out, and I will see you again soon. Bye.